You saw the thumbnail. That's right. The Navigator, the exotic trace rifle from the new dungeon Ghosts of the Deep, heals you, and I haven't seen anyone talking about this feature. There are also other aspects about this exotic that haven't been accurately reported on, so I'm here to break down exactly how this weapon works, disprove the misinformation, and theorize some builds. First, let's go over each perk and completely break them down. Let's start with the star of the show, Protective Weave. Firing this weapon at an ally grants woven mail to both the user and the target. Question 1. How many shots does it take? Answer: 8, for both PvE and PvP. It can be tricky to see since the weapon fires so fast, and it's hard to manually tap fire without firing extra bullets, but the count is 8. By setting up a macro to press the trigger every second, you can see that after 8 bullets, both myself and my friend get woven mail for 10 seconds. Additionally, the exotic user gets 5 bullets refunded as a nice bonus to reward players for spreading the buff around. As shown, you don't have to completely hold down the trigger. In my testing, having 1 second between each bullet still procs woven mail on the 8th bullet. Simply put, you don't have to hold down the trigger, just tap fire it on your friends to conserve as much ammo as possible. And it's okay to miss a few shots, it's just satisfying the rule of 8 shots on an ally with a maximum of 1 second between each impacted shot. Alright, now the juicy part, healing and health regen. It isn't obvious since the users don't get this benefit, and a lot of people did testing while at full health. For the ally that gets the effect of Protective Weave, getting the woven mail buff, they will also get a cure and regen effect. From my testing, the HP amount is equivalent to cure times 2, which is 60 HP. In this clip, I'm at 0 resilience, so total HP is 185, 70 is my actual health, 115 are my shields. My friend double bodies me with a rapid fire sniper, dealing 90 per bullet, leaving me with 5 HP. Once I get hit with the beam, I'm at full health. If we slow it down and zoom in, you can see there's a large chunk of health applied and a short regen effect, which halts at max health. To narrow in on the exact health, we turn to known healing sources, in this case Phoenix Dive, which applies cure times 2. Repeat exactly the same and it looks like both apply the same flat health amount. If we turn to the Destiny Data Compendium, Cure applies 60 HP per stack, but it's halved in PvP. 120 divided by 2 is 60, so we know the health value. Alright, but what about the regen and other weirdness? If we instead weren't super weak, only partway into our health and got hit with the beam, we are now in our shields and fully regenning. What the weapon seems to do is satisfy the health or shield regen delay based on where you are in your overall health. This entails going in depth about how health regen works, but simply put, both your health and shields have a regen rate, how fast you heal, and a regen delay, the time it takes to start healing. What the Navigator is doing is satisfying the regen delay for whatever health you end up in, not full health regen. As if that were the case, both my health and shields would start regenning at the same time. So simply put, if you gain the effects below 10 HP, you basically return to full health. If at greater than 10 HP, you get that 60 HP chunk and start shield regen. So that's the main perk, but what about the weapon's trait? That's Weft Cutter. Dealing sustained damage severs a target, causing them to deal less damage and unravel into a tangle. To cause this to happen, on the 20th shot of dealing damage to a target, that bullet applies Sever. Like the Forgiveness with the Protective Weave trigger, they don't have to be continuous shots or even on the same target. As long as you deal damage every second, that 20th shot is the magic bullet. And if you keep this in mind, you can technically choose which target you apply Sever to, although that's kinda unrealistic. Now the other feature that you might have seen, that could be a bug or an intended effect that's just not labeled in the perk description, is that when you apply Sever with the perk, the user also gains woven mail. This is amazing! A way to proc woven mail that works on any class and any subclass. So if you want to maximize your damage resist, then easy woven mail with stasis resist or void overshield. But for the best results, ideally pair with a strand subclass to better integrate with aspects and fragments. Before we move on, 2 more things about the perk. The Sever that is applied lasts for 10 seconds at base and can be boosted to 15 seconds with the Thread of Continuity fragment. Additionally, there's a small internal cooldown of being able to reapply Sever and get woven mail, but it's not huge. It's roughly 3 seconds between activation windows or 1.5 seconds after already satisfying another 20 shots. On to the catalyst. Upon triggering special puzzles, defeating a secret boss, and getting 700 weapon final blows, the Navigator gains an alt fire. Hold reload to load a special shot into the mag. Fire to shoot a Grapple Tangle. The cost for this shot is just 1 bullet, and it actually does a bullet's worth of damage if you hit an enemy, but you can't shoot a bunch of these off as there's a 30-second cooldown. The HUD information is a little incomplete, just reflecting the cooldown timer without a description. This Tangle shot also fires quite quickly and will always travel 23 meters or until it hits a surface, whichever comes first. You can see where it's going to stick by looking at its reticle. When you're within 23 meters of a surface, you can see the reticle shift and align with the target, kind of like Salvation's Grip's Stasis Crystal Shot. Additionally, the Grapple Tangle is like the Hunter's Aspect Widow's Silk, where you can create an anchor in the world that everyone can freely grapple to, which fully refunds their grapple grenade. Much like that aspect, Navigator's Tangle lasts for about 17.5 seconds, and that timer can be indefinitely refreshed by continuing to grapple to it. A few extra facts and misinformation I've seen. 1. Woven Mail is 60% damage resistant PvE, not 40%. The damage you are going to receive is reduced by 60%. So if you are going to take 100 points of damage, 60% or 60 points is removed from that value. So you take 40% of that damage. Percentages are weird. 2. There is no reticle effect or animation change when the magic bullets are fired or the conditions are met. They just happen when they happen. 3. You have to hit your ally. Getting close isn't going to satisfy the perk. Your bullets must make contact with the Guardian. And 4. For controller users, this weapon gains reticle friction to your allies, making it easier for you to track them, but also makes it annoying to stay on intended targets if allies and enemies keep walking in front of you. So, is this weapon useful? Well, I think so, or at the very least it will be fun. This weapon can be an overload or anti-barrier weapon this season via artifact perks and subclass buffs, grants on-demand woven mail, which is the biggest source of DR, and if you fully lean into Strand, it's a great way to create threadlings, apply Sever, create tangles, and get unraveling rounds. Plus, all three classes can benefit. Hunters have a way to make a grapple point that won't consume their initial grenade charge, Warlocks can grapple to the point to keep creating threadlings or have another way to make tangles, and Titans have another avenue for woven mail to increase your melee regen. Oh, and for DPS strats, now you don't need a Strand Hunter for a grapple point to keep reloading your weapons with a Thread of Ascent fragment. This isn't the most OP meta exotic, but it's fun, helps further Strand build crafting, and gives healers another dedicated healing weapon, which in ways is much more user-friendly than Lumina. Tell me what you think down in the comments. I'm curious. Does it spark any build ideas or other cool interactions I maybe missed? If you found this guide useful, then a like and subscribe is always appreciated. Just a nerdy dude trying to give everyone the info and tools to be successful. As always, I am your Commander Pika. Be kind, have fun, and I'll see you on the battlefield.